The Gunbreaker in 5 minutes. While still being a tank, the Gunbreaker's combat style evokes the feeling of a melee DPS job. So if you ever wanted to fight like Final Fantasy XIII's Lightning, while still being the center of your group, the Gunbreaker is the perfect choice for you. Its damaging kit feels very agile, and also a bit rotational, but due to its cartridge system, some sort of constant alternation is provided. Defensive wise, it doesn't feel totally different from other tanking jobs, as you easily have something against each mechanic or situation. And when it comes to the balancing, don't worry too much about the best tank. You should definitely head for the one that brings a lot of fun. Still, if you plan to do Stormblood ultimates, the Gunbreaker is ultimately scaled and by far the strongest tank on level 70 content. Nonetheless, on level 80 all tanks perform very equally, so Gunbreaker is always a good choice. Guys, we have Gunblades. For equipment, head for item level and weapon damage, reach solid critical hit values while doing that, followed by determination, and try to reach a skill speed value somewhere between 9 to 1100, having a 2.44 GCD. That opens up room for nearly each opener while also aligning with Paladin and Dark Knight skill speed. When it comes to melding, head for crit, and for those pieces where crit is already maxed out, go for direct hit. Taking a closer look at the combat system, we are faced with either generating cartridge stacks or consuming them, with other abilities to push your overall DPS output. Starting with the cartridge generators. First we have the single target rotation, which grants 1 cartridge stack at its finish. Then in AoE situations we have a 2-button rotation granting a stack at the second ability. Last but not least we have Bloodfest, an OGCD that grants you 2 cartridge stacks instantly, which is an amazing tool for rockets starting into the cartridge burst phase and a necessary element to the opener I use. Just try to never use this when having a cartridge stack in your gun barrel. All that directly leads us to the cartridge spender, starting with the single hit burst strike, costing 1 stack like all the other abilities, resulting in a heavy single target blow, which we use to avoid overwriting cartridge stacks and in boosted phases. The second, a direct follow up to our AoE cartridge generators, Fated Circle, which provides a good amount of damage to pack of enemies. And finally the heavy bursting opportunity, the cartridge rotation, starting with Gnashing Fang, Savage Claw and ending in Wicked Talon. The thing which makes this our way to receive the before mentioned agility is a trait at level 70. Granting this rotation an off rotation that unlocks an OGCD follow-up attack to each skill of the rotation, which can and must be placed before activating the next combo ability of the cartridge rotation. Here you can also weave in other OGCDs and furthermore are able to completely interrupt the rotation without breaking its cycle. That means, for example, you can put in your heavy single target dot skill Sonic Break right after the OGCD follow-up of Gnashing Fang without denying access to Savage Claw. This also applies for its 3-fold single target rotation, which somehow is its specialty. Therefore let us continue with the flexible OGCDs the Gunbreaker has access to. First of all we have another dot attack Bow Shock, which also hits multiple foes and applies a dot to every target. Our Gap Closer Rough Divide, which is essential in our burst phase and opener, or against pushbacks or other mechanics. Then we have another simple smasher, Danger Zone, which directly deals damage to the target and is turned into Blasting Zone on level 80. Offensively, the last one being a cooldown to grant us 20% more damage over 20 seconds, in the form of No Mercy. And yes, he also has a range pulling attack like every other attack, Lightning Shot. In the opener I use, our goal is to start off our cartridge combo early with Bloodfest. That means to directly use Gnashing Fan after Keen Edge, which again is followed by Jugular Rip and Blasting Zone, followed by interrupting the cartridge with Sonic Break to start its cooldown early. Then we want to finish the cartridge rotation while trying to use each of our OGCDs right next to each continuation attack, and finish our Keen Blade combo. Here you could use the potion after Brutal Shell to have time and comfort for the pull, otherwise just use it 2 to 3 seconds before starting the fight. Defensively we got very solid cooldowns to protect ourselves in the form of Nebula, the big CD, and Camouflage, the small one. Where Heart of Light grants a solid group mitigation, Heart of Stone providing a 15% damage reduction to ourselves or another party member, and above that he also has a simple OGCD regen effect which can be used on self or others that is a nice addition against incoming damage that can also be used for pulling in dungeons generating the first peaks of enmity. The last one is our Divine Shield ability, reducing the own HP to 1 but therefore rendering us impervious to most incoming attacks, a tremendous tool against certain tank busters or split buster mechanics. If you want more detailed information, check out my Ultimate Gunbreaker guide, and for the most up-to-date openers and info head for the balance. Thanks for watching and see you next time.